I must say it is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm heading out to check on horses. This is crazy because it's like, I don't, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, mule is full of icicles, but she has a opening to the barn right here to go in, but she chooses not to. Stop running. I might bring Nika in, my pregnant mare. Oh my gosh, Sally, covered in icicles, honey. She's not shivering, and she has the option to go inside right there. All of her hay is in there, so I don't really feel bad for her. Okay, here's what we got going on in the pasture. I have 3 horses in a shelter on one side. I've got the minis and Lucky in there, and then 3 big horses. They look really cozy. Everybody else is eating hay. Now, kind of how I go about it is if everybody's standing by the shelters, they come in. If they're not, you know, everybody looks kind of content. So I'm just going to keep coming out and checking on everybody and seeing how they're feeling. If I notice anybody looking cold, they're coming in. Wow. So these mares have a huge shelter, and I've got 3 hay bags hung up in here for them. My concern is not the fact that they are in the rain, because they've got plenty of places that they can stand nice and cozy in here. But my concern is the ice is falling out of the trees and it's scaring the horses. So these guys are out here kind of running around. Look at Nika's eyes, they're huge. You know, she's worried. So I figured I would put them in and let them eat their grain and just hang out in a stall for a couple hours, but Nika won't come in the stall. So Nika is always right at the stall, waiting for me to open it so she can come in for her grain. But look at her, she's scared. I did put Nika and Ona and Miss Kitty in their stalls because I was getting concerned with the ice falling out of the trees and it's scaring them and them running around a lot. I really don't want Nika to wipe out. So having her in a stall, there's not as much noise in there, and I think that that will be better for her. Like I said, if she wasn't pregnant, there's no way I'd put them in. I would make them just sit out there and deal with it. But I'm really concerned about her overdoing it, being pregnant. So it's just me. This is scary. Okay, these 3 are hanging out in their stalls. And with these 3 being in here, the mule comes in. I'm very happy to see her standing in the stall. She won't stand in here if she's by herself. Next day, it is absolutely beautiful outside. Stella's very excited about it. Oh my gosh, I feel like I live in a snow globe right now. This is so beautiful. So yesterday, I wasn't able to film anymore because our power went out right after I was in the barn. We ended up being out of power for 12 hours. So it came on, I don't know, 10:30 or so last night. And so now today, thank goodness, we have power, because when you have 20 head of horses, it gets kind of scary when you don't have power and you have a well, because what do you do for water? Thank goodness there was enough in the tanks to make it till today. So they're definitely low, but I like to keep them really high since we have smaller horses. That way they can always reach the water. But anyway, so that's kind of the scoop. Let's go see how the girls are. So yesterday in the video that I took, I was showing how I was moving or contemplating moving Miss Kitty and Ona and Nika into stalls. And there's Nika in there. See, she's always waiting to go in her stall. She's got that big old belly and she's like, I want my food. The baby wants to eat. So yesterday when she didn't want to go in a stall, I knew there was something wrong. She was scared. But anyway, I did end up getting them in. They were happy. I left them in for a few hours so they could just kind of chill out, and that was just enough time for the wind to die down a bit, so it wasn't dropping tree branches so bad anymore. And by the time I let them out then yesterday, they were totally fine with it. And then last night I ended up bringing for a few hours I brought Rosie and Muffin into the indoor arena and let them just run around and roll. The reason I did that and nobody else is because I went through the herds and I checked every single horse, and everybody was dry and warm. And the only two that were not was Muffin and Rosie. And the reason is because their coats are so incredibly thick. I mean, those ponies are like meant for Antarctica. But they're not meant to get soaking wet with rain. So that long hair takes a lot longer to dry than the shorter coats do. So with those two, my best option was to bring them into the arena and let them roll. And so when I went back up to get them, they were pretty darn dry because they had been rolling in the sand, and they just had some time to get in there and dry off a bit. So that was good. And then I put them back out, and last night it really wasn't that bad out here. The rain stopped and it was just snowing a little bit. So everybody, I think, was pretty darn happy to be outside. She just loves attention. I just love her. She's so sweet. She just loves attention. Okay, so let's go feed some horses and see what kind of ice I got to deal with. Oh my gosh, look at all this ice. It's everywhere. Now, here's a problem that we have. Notice all the ice on my latch here. I'm gonna need a hammer. Looks like Bear's able to reach the water without a problem, so that's good. Muffin's thoroughly enjoying that branch that broke off and fell into the pasture. Horses are all happy. There's only a couple of them standing by the shelters. The struggle is real here, folks. I don't like how Diego looks over there. I don't like that at all. Okay, I'm gonna go deal with him as soon as I get Rosie moved. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, there. That wasn't so bad. Rosie and Petra are thoroughly enjoying this branch that fell into the pasture. Rosie sees me coming. She's like, I'm out of here. I do have a couple of good-sized branches that came down over the fence. Oh, looks like there's a few more over there too. These branches are all just so heavy from the ice. It's crazy. But horses are gonna think it's awesome to chew on them. Everybody's enjoying their hay. I don't like how Diego was laying down earlier. He ate his grain, he ate his electrolytes, he drank water. But now I really don't like this stance that he has going on. And I did watch him lay down again. Oh. But can you see how he's a little stretched out? I don't like that. That tells me that there is discomfort somewhere. Hey, buddy. I just gave Diego a dose of Amine and brought him up into my round pen in the indoor arena, and he immediately started eating. You know, Amine takes a little bit to kick in, so and his ears are up and he looks happy. Anytime that I recognize a symptom, I immediately go into, all right, I gotta make sure that this is okay mode. So he's got hay here. He has a bucket of water out here, and I'm gonna be out in a couple hours to check on him. And basically, by taking him away from the herd like this, I can monitor if he's eating, if he's drinking, if he's pooping. Because if he's out in the herd, I can't see those things unless I'm right there watching him. So this is what we're gonna do for a couple hours and see how he does and go from there. And if he's doing all right, then I'll make a decision after a couple hours if I'm just gonna leave him in for the night or if I'm going to put him back out with the herd. I thought today would be a good day to kind of go over what's going on with these 3 horses. Nika, the Palomino, this one right here, is pregnant. This one is Ona, and she is my filly, my youngster. And then this one is Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty is 26, and she's just kind of my geriatric horse. So the reason that these 3 are together is because Ona was here, I brought her home in June, and I put her by herself so I could start working with her, and I wanted her to be separated from the others just till I got a good handle on her. And then Nika is pregnant, and so when I brought Nika home from the breeder, I just put her right out with Ona. I didn't want to put her back out with the herd since she had been gone for a while, and I knew I was going to keep her separate from the herd when she was going to foal. And then Miss Kitty, the reason she's over here is just because she really loves Nika, and I thought it would be good to put her back in with her. And there's a nice big shelter, and for the winter months, I just kind of wanted her to be able to get in out of the weather. Sometimes the other horses don't let her get into the shelter, so that's why she's over here. Also, Ona, the little buckskin, she is she's young, so she's a little bit playful and rambunctious. And she was wanting to play with Nika, and Nika really doesn't want anything to do with that. So having Miss Kitty out here kind of divides up Ona's energy between the two, and it's just worked out really well. Okay, here's our update on Diego. It's been a few hours, 3 hours, and he is totally acting like himself. He's pooping, he's peed, he's eating, he's drinking, and I think we're good. So I am going to leave him in here for the night though, because I want to make sure that he's not just feeling good because of the Banamine. I want to make sure that he's actually feeling good. So I'll be out right away in the morning then to check on him just to make sure that he's okay. Good morning, Diego. Okay, so it's the next day, and he's been hollering out here. He's ready to go back out with his buddies. And he did eat and drink and pooped and peed. We're good. So he's going to go back out. Danny's going to be out later on today for a lesson. So we'll see, we'll know exactly how he's doing as he gets put back out to pasture. Honestly, standing around so much the last couple days, that probably did not help. In my opinion, movement is always such a good thing for a horse. Keeps everything moving correctly and keeps them mentally happy and all that good stuff. So, all right, come on, Diego. Come on, buddy. There he goes. I like that he's going and taking a drink right away. Diego gets kind of funny with the water tubs because he doesn't like when there's heaters in them. So it takes him like the first month that the heaters are in the tubs, he's very leery about drinking. Even now, like he still sometimes will sort of look at the water funny before he will actually trust it enough to take a drink. I don't know if it gives off some sort of a smell or they can just sense the energy in it. I don't know. He's like, hi guys. Gone for one night. They got to investigate, see what the heck is going on. Why were you gone? Where'd you go? What'd they do to you? Oh my gosh, now they're squealing at each other. One night. That's it. Like 12 hours. He's back out there eating with his herd now. I like that. And I'll just keep a real close watch on him all day. Make sure he's doing okay. Let me know what season is the most challenging for you. Which one gives you the most struggles? Is it the heat? Is it the mud? Is it the cold, the snow, the rain? What kind of struggles do you have where you live? Of course, with us, we've got very cold winters and lots of snow, and then in the spring and fall, we have a lot of mud. So those are definitely struggles for us. But I would love to hear what goes on in the rest of the world, so keep me posted. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.